Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
Oh, that is that we need to know. But that is very simple. You need to ask your manager, so he will tell you what is admin team. That's what his job. He should know, right? Manager should know who is doing what, right? Then get the contact details and send a mail, because you should not go and touch the server side, because that's an admin job. Remember, Dinesh. So you need to go through the channel manager. Manager will tell you the team. Then you can just contact. Yeah, finished.
But
Yeah,
our
but we
study is
should
not
not go and touch.
develop.
Developer should not. That's what developer directly we should not do it. So we need to definitely go through the channel only. So ask manager. He will tell you who is the right person. Then go and contact. Then you can fix it. This is how we need to do. Yeah. But developer we should not. It's not possible. Let's say now service is down. Just now we just started it, because we have got control or access, right? We could able to go and bring up. But in reality, it's not that. Admin, there'll be a separate team. Yeah, they should do it. Yeah. Clear, no, Dinesh? Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect. Yeah, now, so yes. Now PC int is ready, so we can take any. Oh, what I'm doing? Yeah, we can take any what you call workflow, so that we can get it executed. Yeah. If I open workflow manager, yeah, still showing. Yeah, let me just connect. Yeah, fine. So now we could able to, we can take one workflow and run it, so that that case will be confirmed, which is second business case. Yeah. Yeah. So now I just made it as active folder. So take any workflow and run it. Yeah. That's it. If it runs, which means what? Integrated service is ready anyway. It should run. If not, we need to see the problem. Problem should be within workflow. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, you can also start doing it parallelly, so that you'll understand one by one clearly. Yeah, yeah, perfect. Now it's fine, right? Now let us go and uh, go with what another case. Another case is what simple case. How to identify issues with respect to log files, right? So we talked our system cannot find the file specified. So let me. We have already discussed, but let us try to recap that, so that we will remember. So fundamental should not forget. So where is that? So we have got source target. So I think we started with that, right? Open this particular workflow, which is what workflow underscore source underscore target. Yeah. Now here I'll go and change what to a wrong path. So we should get that error message, which can be seen from the log files. Yeah. Let's go and see that. Yeah, select this source, and here I'll just change the path. Now, let us say I'll just put source 1 instead of source. Yeah. Now we should get this workflow failure, right? Why? Let us go and see. Yeah. Now let us start the workflow. Go to workflows and start workflow. Yeah. Yeah, it's running, right? Can you see here? It got failed. Yes or no? Yeah. Now we need to look at why it got failed. Look at here. It failed where workflow is successful, but session got failed. Which means what? We need to look at what went wrong. For that, right click on session. All of you should do it. Yeah. So we need to go and look at how to see this log files. Yeah, connect Dinesh. Just connect. Yeah, then expand it. Then run. Let us say this workflow. Dinesh, restart. Before restart, right? Go and change that path so that you will see the effect of this particular change. Dinesh, open this workflow source target. Yeah. Priyank, I think you are also doing right. Perfect. And you can also do delay. Yeah. I think you can select other one where source file we have taken as input, right? Our target file you can change. But perfect, that's also fine. Delete. You can change the target folder name. Yeah. Yes, connect madam. Right click and connect Susha madam. Yeah, connect. Yeah. Now supply password. Same copy paste. Yeah. Yeah. Now let's move on. Just understand this. Yeah. Can you see here how to look at this log file? So we talked of DTM architecture, right? This follows exactly DTM architecture. Remember this. Yeah. See here, initialization started. Repost name is what? PC rep. And what is server service name? PC end. Which folder we are using here? Extract folder. You can see clearly here. Then what is the mapping we are executed here? Workflow executed here. Workflow underscore source target. Underlying mapping is what? Mapping underscore source underscore target. Then what is the session here? That's it. Now running in partition group 1. Remember, we talked about theory, right? So partitioning part. By default, this particular Informatica uses what? Single node configuration. Remember, when we configured this particular power center integration service, where we could able to say what the node that we use for this particular integration service. For example, when you try to add or create new service, let's say new power center integration service. I'm trying to talk about one by one with reality. Yeah. Can you see here? Node. This is a node, which is what we call single node configuration. Yeah. So that we could able to say as part of what? Log file. Right? That's what we call partition one. I think yesterday theory I talked about, right? Logical node, log corresponding partition. So partition group one here. Now parallel pipeline. Can you see here? We have got two types of parallelism techniques which we have seen yesterday: pipelining and partitioning. Yeah. So pipeline started, then both you have seen, right? Partitioning as well as pipelining. Then server mode. Remember, when we created Power and integration service, we have seen the data movement. Is it going to be ASCII or Unicode? ASCII means normally we use it for dealing with plain English textual characters, but in case if we have non-English characters like a Japanese, Hindi or some other language, then we need to go with what? The usage of Unicode, remember. But we have configured with the ASCII because we are dealing with English characters, right? So corresponding what is code page is what? Whatever default one, like Windows, what is the default we have, right? MS Windows Latin. Yeah? And sort order, remember we talked about sorting, but sorting is not required. But if it require, right, we have got multiple types of sorts. Binary sort, which is for English data, and for Spanish data we need to use a Spanish sort. Yeah? So but where to configure, probably I'll talk about it. It's very simple, but by default it will just for binary, which means we are talking about English language. Remember this. It's a language specific, though we don't use sorter transformation, but these are all initialization settings. Yeah? And then precision part low, these are defaults, and commit interval, let's say 10,000 whatever. These are all the values that we could able to save. Or I'll talk about it. At session level, yeah, if you go and look at the session properties, where we can see what you call how or what are the different settings we have for this particular what you call initialization. Yeah? If you go and look at here, you have got all these properties. Can you see your commit interval 10,000? Likewise, other properties that we could able to see as part of log. But anyway, I'll elaborate all of those properties in detail. Yeah, that's what we can see. Commit interval is what? 10,000. Yeah. Now DTM error log disabled in the sense process level, and then T in the sense third for shared memory writer, which is equal to what? Pipe, which we discussed, right? Stream. Yeah. Then initialize successful. Then the next step is what? Pre-post session task, which we discussed, right? Yes or no? So before we run the session, it is going to run what? Pre-session. Yeah, that's what we can see here. Pre-session part, and data movement gets started. And buffer size is what? So we'll have default block size or buffer size, which we discussed yesterday. DTM buffer size. Where to configure again? Session level we have DTM buffer size, where we can just go and configure. Then can now our part started, in the sense our mapping, where we can see reader thread. Can you see reader means what? Reader thread. So in DTM architecture we talked about reader thread, writer thread, pre-session, post-session, transformation thread. Yes or no, we talked about, right? So now reader part started. Now line sequential buffer length by default 1024 actually, so not 26. Yeah, this is a wrong number here which is shown. They are considering what extras two spaces before and after. That's why they are showing up what 1026, but it's not right number, because actual right number is what 1024, because data should be in terms of multiples of 2, not like 1026 1027. It should be either, let's say 256 or 512 or 1024 or whatever. It should be like this. Yeah? Now can you see error here? This is where we reached, because reader started and it is trying to read the source qualified, read from source qualified by using what? But specified path and file name under c colon source 1 seq1, where we can see what? System cannot find the path specified or file specified. That is what exactly we talked about as part of this example, right? System cannot find the file specified or path specified. Now we need to go and look at what? Under session log we can go and see it. Now what is the next step? We could able to see this message, right? Yes or no? Yeah. Then against what is the severity level we have? Log level we call. So error. We got 4 log levels: info, error, then warning, and fatal. Remember, yeah. In case if you say any error severity level or log level or trace level, they're all same. Yeah. Then we can see corresponding message. So what we need to do, which we can also filter what I call only by typing what error here. Yeah, we can also do that. There are simple things. So we can just see it will direct, after doing this, it directly went to what wherever there's an error. See, it's highlighted directly to this particular location. That's it. Like how one can start what I call getting into error directly. Yeah? So that's it. So find next or whatever, right? So it will go on. See, wherever there are errors, right? It will just show up. Yeah? So that's it. Now what we need to do, we need to go and change that path so that we can fix it. This how we need to read the log. So if you are smart guys, directly just go to that error severity level and then just go and what you call change it, whatever it expects. This is a simple example, yeah, with respect to what source. Similarly, so same concept was good for database or target or whatever. Right? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that is why this understanding
I'm not able to hear you.
Hello.
Yeah, Dilly, can you hear him? I can't hear him.
No, even I can't. How about Dinesh? Shubha?
None of us are hearing him. All of a sudden, we lost him.
I think he keeps going on.
No, there is no messaging thing also here. I just to tell him. Okay.
yeah. So now we all know like how to make it work, right? Yes or no? Yeah. So any questions
Sir, in
so far
between we
from anybody?
lost you for we lost you
Yes,
for
yes, yes,
almost 5 minutes. Yeah,
yes, yes,
every
ma'am.
one of us
I'm back.
actually. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I'm back now. So yes, now we know how to fix this particular source connection, right? So go to this workflow manager, open the session properties, and go and change it so that we can get it fixed. Yeah. So that's it. Like how to fix this particular simple problem, right? Yeah. Now the next is what so the source files are target. This is same. So same concept you can just apply it for target. I think Delay has tried with the TGT files. Yeah, and same concept. And DB connectivity part also. I think we already tried that. So you people have already faced this problem. Just to recap, what we need to do here is we just have to go and what you call make sure that this relational table connection it has been given over here at mapping level. If you go to this any source, let's say in this case key, this connection should be supplied here. If you don't supply, right, you'll get to see what you call a database related issue. That's one thing. And second, if you supply the wrong credentials also, remember, if you go and change, let me just go and change what you call, if you want to change, right, what we need to do is you can just go and change password, whatever. Let me go to connections and relational and then click on what edit. Yeah, yeah. So you can also do it. Let us, I'll just change the password, or let's say username is what Scott1 I'll put, right? So that's it. Now once we do, right, now it's updated. So we could able to see it got updated right here in the output window. We can see that effect of this particular change and then save it. Yeah. So it's done already, updated already. Now let us go and start the workflow. Yeah, you can start doing it. So look at the effect of it. So it should fail because the credentials are wrong, right? See, it got failed. Look at here. Yeah. So you can start doing it. Yeah. Go to mapping, Dinesh. So go to mapping and select SQ department. We have that. But to change, right, we need to go to connections, Dinesh. Go to connections, relational, then click on what? Edit button. You see here, Dinesh? Now change the username from Scott to, let us say, Scott1. That's what I did. You know. Now we can run this workflow, Dinesh. You can run it. So it should fail. You can try. Yeah. Priyanka, you need to take database example. I think you are in file side, right? Priyanka. So take, let us say, this
Yes.
stored procedure or wherever we have used database, right? That example you need to take, Priyanka. Correct, no?
Okay. Yeah.
Because now, yeah, now you're focusing on database issue, right? So take anything. Next we have stored procedure, right? Take that. No? So where we use some database stuff, right? Go and change the password under relational connection so that it should fail. So go to relational and click on edit, Priyanka, and change the username, whatever. After that, you can rerun that workflow where we have database. That's it. Yeah. Whatever you want, you can just change it. Similar, I think delay has done, right? Delay, I think you have already done. Yeah. So yeah, Susha madam. So I think you already know, right? So we have done this first. Maybe I think you missed this. And you can just watch, madam. Yeah, fine. Because you missed in between, right? The flow got missed. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally
Yeah.
agree with
Now,
you.
yeah. Now, yeah. So now let us try to look at what went wrong, because we need to identify what went wrong, right? Right click on the session task and select what session log. Yeah. Now same thing like what we have seen for one particular example, right? Same thing we need to do. See, all initialization stuff is done. Then can you see here? Connection. See here. Reader source is what? Connection is, let's say connection string is MDM. User is what? Scott1. Can you see? And you can see clear error message, invalid user or password, login denied. So which means what? So we need to go and start changing the credential stuff. Remember this. You can see that clearly what kind of message that we can see here, right? Yes or no? All of you. Dinesh, Priyanka, Susha, and Dil. Right?
Yes.
Clear, no? Yeah,
Yes,
perfect.
yes.
Now let us go and modify that. So we need to go to again connections. We need to revert it back, right? Again, relational. Please select the relational and select what? Edit and change the username from Scott1 to Scott. And then say OK and close. After that, we can rerun this. Yeah. So we don't need to save here because the connections they'll get updated automatically. Any change that we do within the workflow, right, that requires resave. Remember, like last time we did, right? So no changes we got. Same. Now also we can see same thing. Now we can rerun this. Yeah. So let us go and look at the effect of this. Yeah, now it is successful, right? Perfect. That's it. Over. This is how we need to particularly identify the database issues also. Yeah, this is what we did. I think these four, I think we discussed. The same thing, like in Priyanka system, I was trying to show what you call run SP, right? Where we use database. So you'll get that SP issue. And not only that, SP, we have seen one parameter, right? Which is a dollar target, whatever. So let me open this particular mapping where we have got, let us say, database usage. So you will understand better where we get to see this kind of SP issue or any other database issue where they have been parameterized at transformation level. Let me show where mapping stored procedure. Yeah, let us take SP thing only. Connected, unconnected doesn't matter. Open this. Yeah. Now look at here. You can also do that. So double click on SP properties. Can you see your connection information? By default, you will have what? Dollar target. Now we already changed it. Now let us say if you try to import SP again, so that you will see that particular dollar connection, whatever, which is different from ours. Or you will have DSN. Yeah. Anyway, we already have it. So let us rename. I'll just put some other name. Yeah. Because one more SP we are trying to add. Let us say. Now SP1. Yeah. So now double click on this new one which we imported. Go to properties. Can you see here? Dollar target. Remember. Now let us say you have not given any value here. And what will happen? You will get error, right? Yes or no? Like I think yesterday Dinesh faced some problem, right? Unable to start session. So session itself, he could not be able to open. Yes or no, Dinesh? Yes or no? I think we reproduced this problem, and after that we
Yes, sir.
changed it to get it fixed.
Yes, sir.
Clear, Dinesh? I think we have done, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. We did.
Yeah, this is the thing. So that is where SP issues comes in, because I think we have already done. Just recapped it. That's one of the SP issue. Now the next is what? Unable to session log. This is one of the reasons. Yeah. Likewise, you can think of many other reasons, which means what? If you have not completely configured mapping properly, or if the mapping is invalid, then you'll get to see this kind of what unable to session log, whatever. So that those things we need to look at as part of what? Workflow log. Remember, for example, if you go and look at our workflow logs, right? We could able to see that messages. Yeah. Let me go to workflow monitor, and wherever you have this SP, right, you can just open that. Yeah. So we could able to see that message. Yeah. Which is let me open this. Yeah. Here. So this log we need to open. So get workflow log. And see the issue here. Yeah. So this is where you will have issue. Somewhere you will get it here. So which means what? So unable to make use of this particular integration service. This is where you'll get error message somewhere here. Yeah. So we need to look at like what went wrong and start fixing the appropriate mapping. And that's what we did, right? So that's it. So this is the workflow, the entry point where it has to spawn a number of tasks. For example, can you see here? Start task. This is the entry point. And can you see within the start, after start, we have got session source underscore target. So evaluated true, which means everything is fine. Now instance has been initiated, which means for spawned. Then start process with the PID. Can you see here? This is a PID. So which means if you want to debug this particular workflow, right? We can attach a debugger to this PID also. That's another way to debug in an automated way, like in Unix or Unix, right? Or Red Hat Linux, let us say.
To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 399 plan and grow your skills immensely.
We got triple D debugger, data display debugger, or we have got a GDB or what do you call XDB, whatever, right? So we have got multiple debuggers. So I use that is GDB is a good one. So I use GDB -P, which is a process ID, then supply this 5724 so that we could able to see complete stack or process tree or proc tree. From that also we can easily identify where there is a problem. So at the bottom is stack trace, right, or proc tree, right? We could able to see like what went wrong. We don't need to go and open that log, this log, and also and so on. We can directly look at the stack. Stack will tell us where there is a problem. Remember this, yeah? Clear, right? So that's it. So this way you get to see that problem, which is what unable to start this integration service. Yeah? And resource busy part. So what we need to do here is probably we'll have to use one table which is not committed part. Yeah, that probably you guys can take the exercise. If you don't get it, I'll show an example, right? Because we need to cover other topics. Yeah. So now the next is what we have got automated way. Automated way we can use what parallel debugger. Yeah. So we got inbuilt debugger within this particular Informatica. Repeat, we have got inbuilt debugger within what Informatica. I just said parallel debugger, right? Now the next question is what? How to make use of this particular parallel debugger? So that's to answer that. It's very simple. We just have to go to mappings menu, start doing it. I repeat, go to mappings menu and debugger, and can you see here? Start debugger. Let us say we are not setting any breakpoints, nothing. Just let us stop. So we can also run the mapping directly in what? Debug mode. Remember. Let me start it. See, you must save changes. Let me save it. Yeah. Yeah, now we saved it. Let us rerun it. Yeah. So start debugger. Yeah. So it will run. So by using what? Our integration service. So click on next, and now we can see database connection, all that, right? Whatever we have in mapping, and click on next. Now this is a DTM buffer size or whatever. Let it use the default. Click on next. Click on finish. Oh, now it should complete it. So we supplied integration service, source, target, all the default ones. It should run. Yeah. Yeah. Now can you see here? This is what left side is, let's say, source. This is a target. This is an instance. Remember, yeah. Let me open this. Can you see source qualifier? Yeah. So then this is going to be what? Target. You can see right now we got source target. Now if you go and start what you call next, let us say debugger. Now next instance or continue. Can you see here? Continue. Yeah. See, it got completed. So in the target could able to see all the 4 rows over here, 10, 20, 30, 40. Yeah. But if we set any breakpoint, let's say if department number equal to 20, so it is going to go and stop over there. Yeah. This is just like what normally what in programming what we do, right? We just set the breakpoint, and when the input data satisfies with this particular condition, right, it will stop there. Then start getting in the sense like inside that particular row. Each row will have what? Multiple fields, right? Each field value you can see it, see what went wrong. Yeah. So that's where we do what setting the breakpoint. Yeah. Clear, right? For example, I'm just trying to set breakpoint. Let's say edit breakpoints. Yeah, here we can just add condition here. Yeah, condition I've just added, right? So click on add here. Now department number is equal to, let us say, constant constant values, let us say 20 example, right? So that's it. You can start doing it, and let me show it. Probably you can do it, and then say okay. Now can you see here there is a red circle, within that you can see stop. label, right? This is what we have set the breakpoint over here, right? Now, when you start, let me save this. Now, when you start this particular mapping again, let's close this first because the last instance, right? We have not closed it. Now, debugger complete, right? Now let us set the breakpoint. Yeah, edit breakpoint. Same thing we need to do. Yeah, let us say we have already done it. Perfect. Now run it. Run the mapping again. Go to debugger and then start debugger. Yeah. Same procedure like what we did earlier, right? So we are using what existing session instance PC integration service. Can you see powers integration service? Click on next. Yeah, can you see here? Source is what? Department, which is the database, and target is what? File. Yeah. So that's what we can see here. And click on next. Yeah, click on next. Yeah, these are all default ones. Click on finish. That's it. Yeah. So this is what we need to do. Yeah. So let it get started. Yeah. Now we can see breakpoint, right? Yeah. So these things we need to organize it properly. So bring it onto the left side. Remember, this is output workspace. This is a target. Last is what? Source, which is instance. Yeah. Yeah. Bring it to the left side. Yeah. Now we can see, right? Instance, all that. Instance is, let's say, expression, source qualifier or expression, whatever, right? We could able to say it. Yeah. Now let us go and start selecting what? Next option, which is going to be what do you call? That's a next instance. Can you see here? Stop debugger if you want. You can stop it. Next instance, which is the next uh, level. So can you see here? Now 10. It has gone up to 10 only. It didn't go to what? Next level. Now let us go to next. Yeah. Likewise, we need to do what? Step by step. What? Debugging. Yeah. So next, again, you can say next, which is going to be 20. Yeah. So that is where it stop breakpoint. So can you see here? Source is what? 10. So sorry, 20. But target is what? Only 10. It didn't transfer. It is stopped there. Now if you say next, it will go. So that's it. Or if you say continue, also it will go to the end. So that's it. Yeah. So likewise, you can just see now breakpoint stop. Can you see arrow mark here? It is stopped there. Now we can click on what? We can look at what each row value, like what it contains, value, data type, row ID, whatever, right? This is a metadata, right? Which is expression, right? Now we can see in source qualifier also. How much you have? 20, right? Value is what? 20. That's where it stopped. On the left side workspace, right? See, department number is equal to what? 20. That's where we stop. List of breakpoints that integration service hit. So it got hit already. You can see right clearly that number, which is 20, right? Now the next is what? We can move on to the next. If you are okay, right, we can just move on, or we can take a look at the data, like what is the problem. Yeah. And then just click on what? Next instance. Yeah. So it's moved. Yeah, because we said after looking at it, we said it move on. Just it's moved. 120 got transferred to a what? Target. So likewise, each row level debugging also can be done by using what? Parallel debugger. Yes or no? If everything is fine, then what we can do is we can just stop the debugger also. Stop means what? It is going to stop because we identified this particular uh, record as a row 20 value. After that, we could able to come out. That's it. Now integrated service is down. As a result, mapping also came out. That's all. Like how this particular debugger can be used. Yeah. Yeah. So looks like you people have done, huh? Or you want me to show it again? Dinesh
No,
and
done.
Priya, it's done, right? Perfect. So Delhi, yeah, Delhi is also done. Yeah, I think Dinesh probably what I can let me just show it in Dinesh's system also. Dinesh, you can just look at see here. Let's say you are in this mapping. Go to mapping and start what debugger. Go to debugger and start debugger. You can see right, Dinesh. This is starting point, Dinesh. And click on next, next. Yeah, where you can see what mapping contains what source, which is a department, target, which is a file. Right? And click on next, next, where we can see session properties, like whatever property that we have seen in session level, right? All of them can be seen. If you want, you can change it, or else it's optional. Click on next and click on finish. That's it. Now debugger would get started. Yeah, and Dinesh? Yeah. Now we can see what whatever you can see here. This is going to be what output window. It's completed already. Started completed because we did not set any breakpoint here. Now let us go and set the breakpoint. Let's say source qualifier I'm trying to do now. Earlier we did it for something else, right? Now let us add a breakpoint and with some condition. The condition is going to be, let us say department number let's say 20 or whatever, right? And then say okay. So we can also specify number of rows to skip before stopping. So like 2 or 3 or whatever number, right? You can specify. Yeah. Now we did set the breakpoint. Next step, go to mappings, repeat the same procedure, and select debugger and select what? Start debugger. Yeah. After that, click on next, click on next, click on next, click on next, click on next. Same thing. Now let's see. So this is which mapping is this procedure, right? Yeah. Yeah. So looks like there's a problem here. That's why it's unable to what it calls set the debugger. Why? Can you see here? Cannot identify relational connection. This is a problem we have. That is why we are getting this particular debugger is not getting started. So what we need to do? So in SP, looks like Dinesh he has not changed what target. So that's why we are getting this error. So now what we can do? We can just go and supply this particular connection. See, this is a good thing is producing issue here. So now we modified it. Now let us say save. Yeah, now it is going to get executed. See how easy is this with a tool. You know? Now go to start debugger. Yeah, same procedure. You know? Click on next, next. Yeah. Yeah, now it started. Can you see yet? Breakpoint also you can see. And see, sending breakpoints integration service, all that can be seen in workspace, output window we call. Then we need to drag right side things on the left where we can see source target. This is a target instance, right? So let me put break this go to meeting somewhere and then get this also target, right? Now we can see instances like source qualifier, whatever mappings that we have. That's a qualifier I'm trying to see here. And we can also select as a target. Now we can move on. Like uh, we can also use what shortcuts. Like we have got F11, F5, whatever, right? So that also we can use. Go to debugger. Can you see continue means what? F5. Yeah. So F5, if you click no, it will cancel. See, now it is stopped here because you can see message here, which is list of breakpoints. Can you see? Department number is equal to 20. That's why it stopped. Yeah? So if you are sure about like whatever is happening here, then you can just move on. So you felt that this is good, then you can just move on to the next level. Go to debugger and let's say continue. Yeah? So it's continue means what? If there are no any breakpoints, right? Just complete the execution of this mapping. That's it. Over. See, this is where green thing. It is passed. So green means what? It is breakpoint already passed. That's all. Yeah? This is what we need to do. Like how to start. If you say continue again, then what will happen? All the rows got completed. It will just come out. That's it. Or you can also shut down or stop debugger. You can do. Yeah? So this is what we need to do in order to what I call configure simple parallel debugger. Go to mappings, select debugger, start exploring, or like start, stop, next, continue. Yeah, fine. So that's it about parallel debugger part. Clear, right? Any questions here? That's what we discussed. Yeah. Likewise, you can think of many scenarios like how one can start what debugging issues, right? This is one way. Another way is what just to extend this. One more point I'll add it here. Let us say you want to fix it only by using what log files. You don't want to touch this tool, that tool, and so on, right? Only log-based debugging. In that case, then we need to explore more details about logs. Now let me elaborate this. Yeah? Remember, let us say whatever messages that we could able to see here as part of this session log or workflow log, they're all based on what simple trace, which is what informative messages. Yeah? But if we have, let us say, some issues using this informative message, let's say we are unable to identify the causes of failures. So in that case, how do we take care of it? So that is a question, right? So to answer that, what we need to do? So we need to go and change the trace level, yeah, or trace level or log level. Yeah, we need to change. So this particular Informatica supports what different types of trace levels. Like we have what we call verbose in it, and we have verbose data. Just remember these two things important. Verbose data. Yeah. So we also have got what we call tests. Yeah. So tests and info. There are 4 levels actually. So mainly, if you have any initialization issues, right? We can just enable this. If we want, let's say, each row data to be displayed in this particular session log, right? In that case, we need to go with what? Enabling verbose data, so that we could able to see each and every row data, the session log. But it is not recommended in production environment. But for understanding, for troubleshooting, use this trace level in what you call dev environment only. Remember. Yeah? So how do you do that? So to answer that, what we need to do? So we need to go and change the trace level. Yeah? The trace level can be done. Look at here. I repeat, this trace level we can set it what you call either at what this particular level, which is session level or workflow level or mapping level or transformation level. I repeat, you can set this particular trace level at, let us say, first transformation or source qualifier. Can you see here? By default, normal. Normal means informative message we are going to get it. Now let us say you want the verbose data, which means each row data should be displayed. In that case, we need to go and change this particular trace level over here. Yeah, probably guys can start doing it. Yeah, one example, right? Because if you face any problem with this, let's say source qualifier, where we are unable to read the data, then change this particular trace level so that you will get the complete data. And whichever row has got a problem, right, we can easily isolate the problem at source level itself. Remember, yeah? So please start doing it. Oh, I did it in Dinesh system. So others, uh, Yeah, Priyanka, Delhi, and Susha. Yeah, open. Let's say, yeah, let me do it from my system. Open this. Let us say any workflow. I'm just opening workflow source target. Yeah, let's open that. Let's all be in same page. Let's say workflow source target. Yeah, right click and then say open. Yeah, so I'm trying to open what workflow source target. Yeah, I opened, right? Now the next, open the session. Our goal is what? Look at the detailing messages for the source where there is a problem. Now double click on session properties and go to mapping tab and select, let us say, source qualifier, which is what? Source part. Then can you see trace level here? So trace level normal. So change it to what? Verbose data, which means what? Each row level data we should get it. Yeah. And similarly, if you want same thing to be done even for target, we can also do it. That's fine. I think source is fine. So just to understand, right? So we don't need to set this for all. Yeah. Say okay. That's it. Now we modified the properties. We just have to save it. Yeah. Dinesh, yours is done, and Priyanka, I think you have done, right? And yes, you're starting workflow. Perfect. I think we're on the same page. Go to workflows and start. Yeah. Yeah. Source target successful, right? So we can see that in the last. Now we can open this session log. Now, if you look at here messages, right? Yeah. Can you see here detail messages? This much we did not see earlier, right? See meta things also we can see, and also detailing part we can see here. Yeah. So and see can each row data, right? See here first row 1, 2, 3. You can see here, and also 4, 5, 6. See row level data can be seen here. Row 1 and row 2. So this much you don't get it from what? Simple normal or informative messages. So if we enable this with what? Purpose data, where we could able to see each row and each corresponding each field values. Like for example here C1 C1 TGT whatever, right? Character, how many characters, and also corresponding value 1, 2, 3. Similarly second row, yeah, 4, 5, 6, right? Likewise if you have many rows, right, all the rows data will be displayed over here. So this is going to help us a lot. This is target, right? Similarly source also you can see here, right? So this is going to help us a lot. Like if whichever row has not displayed, which means there is a problem, so we can easily isolate a problem. But this is good for what? To debug for low volume of data. But if you have very large data, right, it will take a lot of time. It would work. The problem is what? It has to go and dump each and every row data, right? That would take a lot of time. Pins, like how the pins works in operating system, right? Go and identify the pin, right pin, and go and write it to that particular pin, which will be returned to corresponding 32-bit or 64-bit pins. So that will require lots of resources. So that is why. So write is a very expensive operation. Remember that. Yeah. So use this if you face problem for small data, and for especially for what do you call reproducing problem what we have in production within your dev, right? Take subset of data and then reproduce the problem and fix it, like whichever row you encounter the problem. That's it. Yeah. Clear, right? Dinesh and Dinesh, you can just go down, Dinesh. So go up actually. Yeah, go up or down. Down. Yes. Can you see here, Dinesh? Your case department, right? You can see each department data, each row data. You can see right here. This is what I was trying to talk. Yeah. So this much details will not get it with Informatica. Yeah, perfect. I think Priyanka is showing. Can you see your 10, 20, 30, 40, right? Source qualifier. Yeah. And Dil is also showing, right? File. Yeah. So that's it. So now we know like how to change the trace level also, right? So likewise, you can also apply tracing at workflow level or specific to transformation level also. Now we did it at session level, right? You can also do it at what transformation level. Yeah. So let me try to what show where we set trace level. I think you guys would have already seen it, like one of the property called trace level. So so you'll get trace only for that particular what do you call transformation. Can you see here? I just opened source qualifier where we can go and change trace level at transformation level also. Right. So what we did so far was session level. So you guys can take the exercise. So transformation level, you can just set trace level only for that. So you'll get debug messages only to that or for that particular transformation, not for other transformation. Remember, yeah? That is the best way because setting trace for complete mapping will hamper the performance. If you know like where there could be an issue, then set the trace only for that and see which row has got a problem. Clear, no? I think with this probably we'll take a break. I think I kept on talking many things. Yeah. So too much until it makes man imperfect. Right? So let us take a break. So after we come back, and we'll continue from here. Yeah, that's going to be probably we'll start with the next topic.
Please enroll our general membership for $399 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.